Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, today we are going to be talking about this wonderful movie called Land Shark. Yeah, I'll be honest, this one definitely made me feel brain rotted, for sure. So, this movie is directed by Mark Polonia, and I'll give you a heads up now, the budget isn't that big. It's actually very substantially smaller than any film that you will have ever seen, I guarantee you. So we start off with this chick. She's walking on a beach and then she's looking out into the ocean and then out of the blue, shark fin just bursts out of the water. So as you can tell by this wonderful CGI effect that we just witnessed, the movie is going to be a banger. Now, this also brings us back to the budget. So the budget for this film was a measly 10 quid, which in conversion is like 13-ish dollars at the time of filming this video. Now, I know that I'm going to forget that conversion, so let's just say that it's $10. Now, mind you, we're only 5 minutes into this movie. So I guess we're going to have to buckle up, grab our helmets, and get ready for this movie that Mark made for us. So the gore in this movie, if I had to rate it, I would say that it is a good, solid, like 2 Randy Jones out of a Derek Jeter. So I guess I'm going to be using that measuring system for the gore in movies from here on out. So we're a few minutes in, and then we're introduced to this gentleman. Really, Mark, you couldn't have like gotten him a better hat? Actually, now that I think about it, I think I had that hat as a child. If I can find the photo, I'm going to insert it here. So other than the yellow YouTube levels of acting, some of the camera angles that they choose and the lenses that they decided to use are a little interesting. Like in this scene, made that motherfucker look like Megamind up in this bitch. So Megamind dies. Then I'll be entirely honest, I don't really know what's happening in this scene, but the guy dies. So then we cut over to this lab, and I'll be honest, it doesn't seem like any of the screens are on. Like look in the reflection of her glasses. Oh yeah, also speaking about the screens, they're just like video PNGs, just cropped to the screen size. Don't know why they didn't just turn it on and play the video, but $10 budget. So then the scientist chick calls this gentleman named Dr. Foster, who, my God, needs a bigger tank for this shark. Like, look at this shit. Also, side note, Dr. Foster isn't a nice guy. He definitely got coal from Santa as a child. Then it cuts over to Dr. Foster talking with his boss, and they are overly excited at the fact that they have actually created a land shark, which is seems terrifying, a shark with legs. Fuck that. See, if a shark like that lived around here, it'd be asking me for tree fitty and a thing of herring. Now just imagine I said that with a little bit of southern twang on it. Heroin. Speaking of that, so Dr. Foster turns himself into the Green Goblin, but it's red liquid, so I'm guessing Spider-Man. So that brings us to our fourth kill. Next duo is this couple that's going into the desert for a sexy rock photo shoot. Also, side note, the sexy rock photo shoot lasts way too long. There's also another really weird part where the guy like gets jealous of this chick's friend who takes pictures of her, and says that he jerks off with the photos. Don't know why, but there's that.
I figured. I bet you I know what he does with those photos.
Dale, you're disgusting.
So Dr. Foster and the scientist chick find dead homie number 4. We're just going to call him number 4. So they find number 4, and then Dr. Foster blackmails the scientist chick, and it turns out that they were trying to use the sharks as weapons. That's even more terrifying. A shark with legs with a gun? A little later in the film, it shows that 3 sharks got loose, and Dr. Foster just murders all the sharks. Foster and the scientist chick then get picked up, and they go inland. And they have this wonderful beach montage that has this awesome music. Like, so we then go to a couple in a pool. And I'll tell you this much, they don't really put up much of a fight. And yes, that does say YOLO. I know, I was thinking the exact same thing. Come on, Mark, you can do better. Like, my guy. So they pull out this state-of-the-art tracker to find these land sharks. It's an AC... There's an AC 130 above. I'm fucking retarded. Now, I'll be honest, I know for a fact that I had one of these as a child because it is a Air Hogs RC helicopter controller from 2007.
What's its range?
About 20 miles, give or take.
Interesting.
They also say that this state-of-the-art tracker has a 20-mile range. Like, I barely got 15 feet with the fucking RC helicopter. They start searching for the land shark, and it's just a bunch of this chick just walking around, and then out of the blue, she just goes, bingo.
Bingo.
They find the shark apparently, and then it just cuts to them driving. We don't know if they have the shark, if they don't have the shark, or anything. We don't even know if they're still tracking it. Then they say that it gets on land, so apparently they didn't have it or didn't find it, even though that it for sure sounded like they were in the shark's asshole.
Bingo.
Like, am I dumb? That means that you're on the shark, right? Like, that loud of a beep means that you're on, like, you're in the shark's ass. It then cuts to this guy who's drunk behind a dumpster. I thought for sure he was going to die, but he just turns out to run into our friends Foster and the scientist chick. Our drunk friend then tells Dr. Foster and the scientist chick that he saw the land shark and that it went through a tunnel. So they go through said tunnel. They act shocked when they tell each other that they don't find anything. Like, I thought that, like, it looks like a one-way tunnel. Like, there's no splits. It looks like just one fucking way down. Am I just dumb?
Nothing.
Same here.
What's the tracker show?
It's showing it's right behind us.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
So halfway through this movie, we're finally seeing what this thing looks like, and apparently it has no legs, no guns, just a fucking shark. They get the shark out in the open, and they kill it. They then catch the shark on fire and just leave. Like, I thought that Smokey Bear would have at least taught us something when we were younger. Like, his slogan, "Only you can prevent forest fires." Like, didn't we learn something when we were younger?
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
So after all that, they just kind of drive off and they talk about getting a hotel. So they grab a hotel for the evening and they're watching the news and it interviews our wonderful drunk friend.
How is it now? Not for the war.
They also interview two fishermen here, which I think is like Mark's cameo in the movie. I don't know.
Dynamite fishing earlier today. Hush.
We cut back to Foster turning himself into Spider-Man again. Then some girl dies at a train station. Typical. The scientist chick and Dr. Foster then talk about life and what's happening so far. Then we cut to our homeless guy again. We cut back to our drunk homie, who finds the land shark, but not in the most hygienic way possible. He pees on the shark, and then he gets his dick bitten off, and he takes a drink, yells, chum on this, and then gets eaten. So our dynamic duo then goes over to a abandoned house trying to find the second land shark.
It's right on top of us.
I don't see it.
The land shark then turns out to be behind them. They find the shark, then they chase it down to a lake, and then the scientist chick just fucking nukes the shark and says, screw the power grid around me.
Stand back.
Now, mind you, too, I cut out about like 45 seconds of that, like electrifying the water. I cut 45 seconds of that out. Dr. Foster then just disappears, and the scientist chick finds a new signal, so she goes after it. Turns out, she finds the third land shark, and it's Dr. Foster. Turns out he was actually experimenting on himself. Who would have thought becoming Spider-Man would have made him into a land shark?
I went the opposite direction and experimented on myself with shark DNA.
So Dr. Foster turns into a fish dude and chases the scientist chick around. And we get to see a little chase scene. And then the scientist chick just kills Dr. Foster by like jamming her hand into his gills. Don't know how that's possible, but you know, like dead. Foster fish then turns back into Dr. Foster and says, there's more experiments, there's more experiments. Like, the ending scene is just this massive fucker just popping out of nowhere at the pier, and the movie ends. Like, we couldn't have at least shown the pier get destroyed. Like, bro, that would have been sick. If you guys are feeling a bit frisky and want a shitty movie to make fun of with the boys or with the friends, whoever, I'll put the link below in the video description. But anyway, that's it for now. Hope you all have a good one. Peace.
I don't even like rap, but I'm a fucking rap star. I came up out the trash can, how the fuck I make it that far? And you can hate my music, cause I hate that shit too.